Hi, I'm Andy Ruzicka at the Gateway Arch National Park, and I'm so excited to be here in the museum section for this new program they're offering, merging technology and history together for guests that will visit and enjoy. So with me is my guest, Liz Forrestal, the Senior Director and Programs for the Jefferson National Parks Association. Liz, thank you so much for taking time out.
Of course, I'm glad you're here.
And this program, let me tell you, I think it's amazing.
Excited, yeah. I mean, this is a first for the park. First for many national parks haven't done virtual reality. And for those who don't really know what it is, you put a headset on and you can see in 3D and 360 degrees the story that unfolds. Our story on this particular one is the 1850s era riverfront in St. Louis, which was very, very bustling. Unlike it is now, it was packed with steamboats that were delivering people and goods from all over the world. And St. Louis was really a crossroads for Western expansion of the US. So we thought it was a cool story to start with. And we tell it in the museum in kind of traditional exhibit methods. So this is a new way of kind of bringing that story to life. The production is one single production, but it features three separate characters, if you will, each of which is someone who actually lived. They're real people. The Park Service really kind of did their homework and tried to illustrate the different backgrounds of all the people that made up the melting pot of St. Louis. So you'll see three different characters outlined in this production. The three people are very, very different. One is an enslaved African American who has been a dock worker all his life since he was a child and is working to buy his freedom. Another is a German immigrant who just arrived off of a steamboat with her family straight from Germany. I mean, they had a long circuitous ride up the Mississippi. And so they're trying to make a new life for themselves and perhaps go farther west than St. Louis, but they stopped here. And a third person is James Eads, which for locals is a familiar name. We have the Eads Bridge that he created, first major bridge across the Mississippi. But he also was an engineer who salvaged wrecks from the bottom of the river. That was a major, because there were so many wrecks on the river. So we feature Mr. Eads in a young part of his life.
Now, I played a few video games in my life, so I know a little bit about virtual reality. I've played, a few things. You put the headset on. How, much movement do you need to do when you're sitting here? Is it mainly sitting, or do they have to move around?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, it is. We encourage people just to stay seated on the stools that we provide, but they swivel. We bought stools that can swivel because people are going to want to turn, look up, look down. So it is kind of active, but we don't want people to fall and get disoriented, so we're asking them to stay put and sit.
That's so cool. And as far as recreating St. Louis from the 1800s, how much did you guys, look at maps and remember some of the facades or things like that?
Well, there are a lot of resources that the National Park Service has, and their staff here in the museum really did some kind of primary source research. And we have old photos, we have artifacts, some of which are in the museum, and that show what it was like 150 years ago. But unless you really get immersed in that, you don't feel like somebody who was living at the time. So that's what we're trying to recreate.
What is your favorite part of seeing this whole 3D immersive?
I think just being subsumed in the whole landscape of the riverfront and knowing what it looks like today and where this Gateway Arch is more or less the site. And just seeing the sights and sounds and smoke and the bustling activity. St. Louis was a big deal in the mid-19th century.
That's unbelievable. So is this exhibit something that will be here a long time, or is it limited?
No, we're hoping it will be here a long time. The virtual reality theater that we created will be able to show multiple virtual reality programs in the future. This is the first one we've developed. But the Park Service, I think, is interested in doing stories based on other developments from the museum and from the past.
Is there, is this a fee or is this a separate thing as far as when visitors show up?
It is a fee-based, but if they buy other tickets for the tram ride and other activities at the park, then the price is reduced.
Excellent. And, again, this is so incredible.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
the
different.
merging of technology and history together, I think
know.
the brand new way to make people learn about
Yeah.
what our past was.
Exactly. And for those who don't like kind of traditional museum presentations, this may capture them and excite especially kids who want to see it, how was it in the past? And they'll get a good firsthand look.
Excellent. So is this open throughout the day, throughout the entirety of the museum?
Yes, during the hours that the Arch is open, and right now in the summer, the Arch has extended hours. So it opens at 9 and it closes at 8 at night. So we'll be open during those hours.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Liz.
Sure.
That was,
Sure.
I'm excited to try this myself.
You should.
so.
You should. You'll love it.
Thank you so much. That was Liz Forrestal, and we're at the Gateway Arch National Park. You need to get down here for the virtual reality theater. Again, it's merging technology and history together so you can learn all about our past of St. Louis, that rich history we have. Remember, you can follow STL TV on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter, and go to our website, stltv.net, where you get all the latest information on what we're doing. For STL TV, I'm Andy Ruzicka.